Hey then. So today we'll be learning kanji. Anything for proper talk to if you're jealous of sensei.
It's not like I'm jealous and I want all of you to support me and call me cool or anything.
The typical Cinderella line. Okay then.
Jealous boy. Poon poon.
Okay, so today's kanji we'll be learning the kanji for age, and then book, and then kata is like referring to a person, and then the kanji for child as well as mountain. So we'll be starting with the first one, which is the kanji for what do you call it? For age. So the first one is age, which is 3 strokes. So the way to write it is 1, 2, and then 3. Oh my god, it's too long. So it's 3 strokes. Here's 1, 2, and 3. So this is the kanji for age. Well, to be exact, it's more to the simpler kanji for age. So the onyomi, which is the Chinese reading, onyomi is sai. This one we will be only learning for the onyomi. The kunyomi, which is the Japanese, we don't learn it because we only use it for sai. So the way to read it is sai. So the first one is, of course, it is used with numbers. So for example, is it like this? Yeah. So how do you read this, Kaicho?
East side.
So isai. Isai. So basically, since this one is the kanji for age, and then you put a number at the front, so basically it's that number's age. So this one is the kanji for number 1. So basically this is 1 years old. 1 years old. So for example, so どうぞ会長。
はい。アリさんは何歳ですか？ 1歳です。
そう。アリさんは何歳ですか？ 1歳です。So basically to ask like how old they are, so basically you can use this one. 何々さんは何歳ですか? So here's the next chapter. So basically this is asking how old is A, which is a person. How old is A? 何々さんは何歳ですか? And then you answer it with this one. So basically, you can just put a number at the front and then sai. So basically, that is your age. For example, if you are 19 years old, you say 19歳. So 19歳. Yeah, so. However, there is only one exception for age where they have a different way of saying it, which is for this one. Does anyone know this one? How to read this?
おるおる。
なんでしょう?
Keluar bahasa Arab in my head actually. Egypt never goes away in my head. I'm so sorry.
You can never escape from Egypt.
I look at
My
this,
language
I
problem.
say Ashrin. And I'm sorry,
なんでしょう?
everyone.
So how do you say this one? So basically, this one is how old is it?
Definitely. El come manzanas. That's how I.
This one is basically 20 years old.
So,
So how do you say 20 years old, Kaicho?
kita ada dua. Perbezaan.
20歳。
Nijusai also like can.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because people like it's orang kata apa, like people can understand how old is it, but there's also another way of saying it, which is more frequently used. That is this one. It is 20歳. Hatachi. So this one is a special way of reading it. So people usually say 20 years old as 20. 20歳, if you say 20歳, I mean the Japanese will understand how old you are, but they more use 20 instead. So 20. For example, I remembered nothing mood.
What color is it?
Anyone anyone wants to read this one? Maybe Kanemi-san, どうぞ.
This
one is 20.
20になりました。
そうそうそうそう。私は20歳になりました。So usually you use this line after your birthday just passed. So basically this is saying I just turned 20 years old. 私は20歳になりました。So you can just change this one. 私は19歳になりました。私は24歳になりました。So we learn this one. Isai and Hatachi. For others, it's basically the same for other numbers. So to do the age thingy is basically a number plus sai. Then it be basically 99 years old. And then I did mention that for age, there's also another kanji, which is a bit more, what you call it, complicated or harder to write, which is this one. It is 13 stroke actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 13. So So this is another kanji for age, which also read as sai, actually. Nani nani sai. But this one usually is used more to like, documents, when you, for example, you move somewhere else, so you have to do a documentation and whatnot. So usually in the document, they would ask your age, they would use this kanji. So, well, this kanji is usually used, sometimes people are too lazy to write this one. So they just use this one, sai. So, but the meaning is same, it means age actually. So for any question, 大丈夫ですか?
大丈夫です。
はい. Now we go to the next one, which is the kanji for book. So it is 5 strokes.
When I think about book, I think of Ian.
True.
He loves his
You will
kanji.
always remind us. Potong pokok dapat apa. So previously we already learned this one kanji, which is the kanji for tree, pokok, or like in other meaning also it is mokuyobi, which is Thursday. So the way to write that kanji is this one. It is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is how you write the kanji for tree. However, for this one, which is the kanji for book, you just have to add another line, which is the 5th line is 5. This one. Basically, you add a line in the middle. If it's the tree kanji, it's only like this. Tree. So, and then an old member of us always say to remember this kanji. It's basically you just have to remember the tree. And then, ask yourself, if you cut a tree, what do you get? You'll get a book. So that is how to memorize this kanji. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is it Ian Chong that you guys are talking? Oh, you know him? Yeah. So. It's Ian. That Ian.
Correct.
Yes. I see. Naruhodo.
Oh yeah, he is your senior, definitely.
He's also DTI.
もう何年ぶり借りよ
何年ぶりじゃない。何ヶ月間ぶり。
う。そういう感じだった。
So the onyomi, which is the Chinese reading, is hon. Hon. And then the kunyomi, which is the the Japanese reading is moto. So the first one that we'll be learning is this one. What is this? 何でしょう？
あら、本です。
そう、本です。本 which is book. Literally book, 本. So for example,どうぞ会長。
はい。私は本を2冊買いました。
そう。私は本を2冊買いました。そう、私は本を Hon, of course, is book. Nisatsu. So basically, nisatsu. Satsu is a counting word for books. Books, it can be novels or documents, journal. You use nisatsu. So ni, of course, is the kanji for number 2. Nisatsu. Kaimashita. So kaimashita comes from the word kau or kaimas, which means to buy. But in this case, it's in past tense since it's mashita, so basically bought. So in this word, the context, it means 私は本を2冊買いました. I bought 2 books. So, 本です. Next one is this one. 何 Oh my. 何 本 or bomb or pom. Depending on the number. So basically, at the front, you put a number. So this will be a counting word actually. Number of, but it's for like what you call it? Tall things, tall and slim things actually. For example, like pencil or like bottles, which is tall and slim. So yeah, number of tall and slim object, basically. For example, anyone wants to try this? So, anyone wants to try to read this?
大好きなもの
That 3-second rules, どうぞ会長。
はい。本の上に鉛筆が3分にあります。
3
3分。
3
3分。
3本。
お、全部間違えました。
3本。So, this one, the middle one. 3本あります。ちょっと、本の上に鉛筆が3本あります。So basically, 本の上 means like above or like on top. So basically on top of the book. 鉛筆 means pencil. 鉛筆が3本. So bon is the counting words for tall and slim things. So 鉛筆 is like long and slim, right? So that's why you use bon. And the reason why it is bon, not like pon or hon, is because this is the the special reading of it. This one we will learn later on how to read for the counting words, numbers and counting words. So this one is 3本. Oh yeah, that's why I forgot. 本 or 本. So 本の上に鉛筆が3本あります. There is 3 pencils on top of the book, basically. So that is the counting word. So for this kanji also, it is used for the name Japan itself. Just this one. Oh my god. The way the writing is so ugly. Okay. So how do you read this one? This one, they have 2 ways of reading it. なんでしょう?
Nihon
what is Japan? So Nihon.
and Nippon.
So. Nihon or Nippon. So this is how you call Japan, Nihon or Nippon. My Nihon or Nippon. So that is how Japan is called in Japanese. Nihon or Nippon. So for example, maybe Kanemi-san, dozo. This one.
うんに、に、
に
日本
日本。
あ、日本は今、
うん。
暖くなりました。
そう。
そう。
日本。日本は今、暖か、暖く、暖かく、暖く、暖かい。Oh my god. No, I made a mistake. 暖かくなりました。暖かくなりました。
そう。
So, basically, 日本は今。今 is now. And 暖かく. So basically, this comes from the word 暖かい。暖かい。暖かい。So, 暖かい。Which is what you call it, the E adjective with the meaning of warm. So this one, they actually conjugate a bit. And basically, 暖かくなりました. So basically, what it means is that right now, Japan is becoming warmer. So basically, usually from spring to summer, the changing of it. So, 暖かくなりました. So this one is one of the words that is quite hard to pronounce. 暖かい。暖かくなりました. So this one is 日本. And lastly is when you add another kanji. So what is this? 何でしょう？
日本人。
そう、日本
正解。
人。So this is actually the kanji for person. So basically, if you put a country at the front and this kanji, it'll become a nationality of that country lah. Nationality. So basically, this one is saying Japanese. But it's more to Japanese person. The nationality is Japanese. So, 日本人. So that is the kanji for hon. So it can mean book, or it can be used for counting words for tall and slim thing, tall or long slim things. And then it is also the kanji for Japan, Nihon or Nippon, and Nihonjin, Japanese people. 質問ありますか？大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫。
大丈夫です。
はい。
Bullshit.
This guy. これ、中国語の授業じゃないです。It's not Chinese class. This guy. Okay, the next one is 4 strokes. This is the kanji for that person, referring to a person actually. So previously, I think you guys learned the kanji for man, which is 10,000. It looks like this, man, which means 10,000. So it kind of looks similar to this one, except it has one additional thing. So the way to write it is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So basically the additional thing is this one. It is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the onyomi, which is the Chinese reading of it, is 4. While the kunyomi, the Japanese reading of it, is kata or gata. Gata. So the first one would be this one. So how would you read this one? なんでしょう? Which one do you use?
あの方。
そう、あの方。あの方. So basically this one means that person. But this one is a, what you call it, a polite way of referring to that person, especially when you do not know that person's name and then you don't really know that person is like younger than you or older than you. So it's a respectful way of calling that person. For example, like, oh, あの方はどなたですか? You know, who is that person? あの方は誰ですか? So, あの方. For example, hmm, はい、どうぞ会長。
はい。あの方は日本語の先生です。
そうあの方は日本語の先生です。そうあの方、that person は日本語の先生。So basically a Japanese teacher. So basically they are saying that person is a Japanese teacher. So あの方 is a formal or polite way of referring to someone that you don't really know who that person is. Or especially like name, you know. あの方の名前は何ですか? For example, you want to ask that person's name. So あの方. So another one that uses this kanji is this one, but we haven't learned the second part of the kanji. So this one is this one and ko actually. So this one is read as hoko. Hoko means direction actually. Hoko. So the ko actually looks like this one, Chutamiti. Hoko. So the ko kind of looks like this one. This one we haven't learned. So hoko. Direction. So for example,
地図は欲しい。
はい。So maybe 羽美さんどうぞ。
右の方
うん
方向
う
ね。
ん。そうそう、方向。
方向から
うん。
風が吹く。
そうそうそうそう。右の方向から風が吹く。そう。 So basically this one, what it means is migi. Migi means right, actually. Start there. Oh. So migi is the Japanese word of the direction of right. Migi no hoko. So basically this one from the direction of from the right side. Apa tu? Kaze ga fuku. So kaze means wind. Kaze, wind. Ga fuku. So basically this is actually a set. So to say that the wind is blowing, so basically this one is the right verb to use it. Fuku. Kaze ga fuku. So this one is better to memorize as a set. Kaze ga fuku. So the wind is blowing from the right direction, basically. Kaze ga fuku. So that is hoko, basically, what we will be learning for hoko. It is ano kata, that person, and then hoko, direction. 質問ありますか？大丈夫ですか？
いい方向。
いい方向。A good direction.
一つ方向。
Oh no, one direction is it?
I want it that way.
That is hoko and kata. So the next one is the kanji for referring to a child, basically, or a kid, basically. So it is 3 strokes. So the way to write it is basically 1, and then 2, and then 3. So it is 1, 2, and 3. So the onyomi, which is the Chinese reading, is shi, tu, or tsu. It is shi, tsu, or tsu. While the kunyomi, the Japanese reading, is ko or ne. Ko, and then ne. So for this one, we only be learning one, which is nani nani ko. Ko no ga ko. Which means a child. And then what you might be wondering what you put at the front. So basically, for example, like this one. Dozo, Kaicho.
はい。公園に男の子がいます。
そうそうそう。公園に男の子がいます。So 公園 means park. 公園に男。男 is basically a guy or boy. Basically the gender. So, and then noko. So basically, if you say otoko noko is referring to a boy, which is like the gender is a guy, but it's a child, basically. Otoko noko. It can also be onna noko, which is a child, which is the gender is a girl. Onna noko. So, ga imasu. So, imasu basically is there is, but it is for living things. So basically at the part there is a boy who's a kid there. So, and then this one also uses the for the word kodomo actually. Kodomo. Which mean children, or it can also mean child too. kodomo. So, kodomo. This one also uses a kanji, which is we will learn later. It looks like this one. Kodomo. The domo part. So, children, kodomo. So, it can be like, 公園に子供がいます. There is children at the park. So, this is 子供. Ko. 1, 2, and 3. 子供. 質問ありますか？大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫。
はい。So the last one is mountain. Yama. So it is 3 strokes. And the way to write it is 1, 2. When the second stroke is like in 1 stroke. 2 like that. It's not 2 and 3, no. It is 1 and 2. And then 3. If you notice the third line, you have to make sure it's go over this line. You have to go over it. Go down. I mean, there's an extra part. So it is 1, 2, and 3. So the onyomi, the Chinese reading, is 3. 3. And the kunyomi, the Japanese reading, is yama. Yama. So the first one is this one. So basically this one is
Yama.
so yama, which means mountain. Yama. So for example, no. This one maybe Kanemi-san, do you want to try?
ええ。
うん。
あのあの山の
うん。
ここにきれい
うん。きれいな。
きれいな川があります。
そうそうそうそう。あの山の向こうにきれいな川があります。So, あの山. So basically, あの is that. It means that. And then so that mountain, あの山の向こうに. So 向こう, the meaning is like, how do I say? What you call it? The opposite side of that place, basically. Cool. Kinda means like the other side. 向こうにきれいな. So きれい, of course, it means pretty. Pretty. きれいな川. Kawa means river, actually. River. があります. So basically what they're saying is あの山の向こうに at the other side of that mountain, きれいな川があります. There is a very pretty, or in other words, clean. Also, it can also mean clean. Clean river. There is a very pretty or a clean river at the other side of that mountain. So, あの山の向こうにきれいな川があります. So that is for yama. So another one would be a very, what you call it, a very common name, Japanese name. It's this one. So how do you read this name?
Yamamoto-san.
Oh, it's Yamamoto-san. So,
ああ、気づかなかった。
Yamamoto-san. So because if you notice, the one that we learned for this one, it uses this kanji, and then there is the kunyomi, the Japanese reading of moto. So this is one of the common name in Japan. Yamamoto-san. So Yamamoto. And there's also a mountain, a very famous mountain in Japan, which is this one. So how do you read this one?
富士山。
So Fuji-san, which means Mount Fuji. So Fuji-san. The kanji for this one is actually this. Fu and then Ji. So Fuji-san, Mount Fuji. So usually the sun is referring to the mountain. It's not like the name sun. Nope. It's the mountain sun. Mount Fuji, Fuji-san. So for example, this one. Eh. Okay. どうぞ、会長。
どれどれ富士山は高い山です。
そう、富士山は高い山です。So basically, what they want to say is 高い。高い is a e adjective, e kyoshi of with the meaning of tall. So basically, what they're saying is like Mount Fuji is a very tall, what you call it, tall mountain. So 富士山は高い山です。So yeah, that's what you'll be learning for 山。そう、質問ありますか？大丈夫ですか？
すべては OK。
はい。
大丈夫です。
Right. So I guess that is what we'll be learning for today, kanji. So there is the H, and then the book, or also for Japan. And then we have that person referring to a person, kata. And then ko, a child or children, kodomo. And lastly is yama, mountain. So that's it for today's kanji. For next kanji, this one is the where we actually left off the last class for kanji
Yep.
before we
So the
started
next
again.
one would be untapped waters. So,
Yes. For next one, we'll be actually learning the kanji of
a sneak
oki,
peek,
big.
everyone.
Oki, this kanji, which mean big. And then we also be learning the opposite of it, which is chisai, which is small. And then we have akarui, which is bright. Akarui, which is bright. And then we'll be learning the kanji of gender, which is otoko. And then lastly is onna. So these are the kanji that we'll be learning next week. The kanji of big, small, bright, guy, gender, boy, or girl, lady. So So yes, that's it for today. As usual, any question you can ask me. I'll be here.
Alright.